Since ancient times, divine beings have created countless universes. Known as absolutes, they endlessly repeated the cycle of creation, indulging in and pursuing eternity. In this process, the various materials, souls, and laws emerged. However, as boredom settled in, the absolutes sought new forms of entertainment. To satisfy their curiosity, they orchestrated wars, finding amusement in the chaos they had set into motion. To them, destruction was mere but spectacle, countless creations forced into endless battles, perishing for their entertainment. Then, an incident occurred. An absolute was murdered by their own creations. The event drew the attention of other absolutes from different dimensions, all turning their gaze toward the world that had lost its master. The death of one of their own at the hands of their creations was an event unlike any before. Yet, the absolutes felt no sorrow or concern for the loss. Their attention remained fixed on a single, more intriguing matter. The power left behind, now without an owner, would belong to whoever claimed it first. A man announced that he had been accepted into Hanguk Art University. His friends reacted with disbelief, questioning how someone like him could have gotten in. Another friend, feeling discouraged, muttered about retaking the exam. Meanwhile, the man burst into laughter, overwhelmed with relief. Finally, he was free from this hell. Another classmate turned to him and said, offering congratulations, surprised that Sung Suho had actually been accepted. Expressing surprise, the classmate admitted they hadn't expected Sung Suho to have that kind of talent, and asked how long he had been drawing. Sung Suho, unfazed, remained wary of Kim Seong-chul's intentions, anticipating whatever he had in mind this time. The classmate quickly corrected him, stating that he was not Kim Seong-chul, but Lee Yun-chul. Sung Suho, unfazed, simply acknowledged the mistake. Lee Yun-chul responded with frustration, complaining that his plan to dominate the school had been ruined because of Sung Suho. However, Sung Suho remained indifferent, casually remarking that thanks to him, Lee Yun-chul could now graduate safely. Meanwhile, a girl classmate whispered to those nearby, noting that Lee Yun-chul was making a fuss once again. The girl classmate questioned why Lee Yun-chul was acting this way so close to their graduation. Another classmate agreed, acknowledging the unnecessary fuss he was making. A classmate couldn't help but wonder why Lee Yun-chul continued to bully someone who was trying to stay positive, even after losing both of his parents. Lee Yun-chul lunged forward to attack, but Sung Suho reacted swiftly. He jumped, grabbed Lee Yun-chul's head, and drove his knee into his face with precision. As Lee reeled from the impact, Sung Suho calmly told him to stay quiet, at least until they graduated. Sung Suho's eyes widened as he reacted to the situation, sensing something unexpected. Lee Yun-chul, his expression twisting in disbelief. A blue flame flared around his clenched fist as he prepared to strike back. Lee Yun-chul lunged forward, his aura-covered fist rushing toward Sung Suho as he scoffed at the previous attack, dismissing it as nothing. Sung Suho swiftly dodged the attack, causing Lee Yun-chul's fist to miss its target and slam into a locker with a loud crash. Sung Suho was momentarily stunned, his eyes widening in surprise. The girl classmate watched in disbelief, unable to process what had just happened. Lee Yun-chul stood tall while Sung Suho sat on the ground, still processing the impact. 2 years later, at Hanguk Art University, Sung Suho, now a second-year college student, walked down the street when he noticed something unusual. A man with a microphone stood nearby, making an announcement. Every class in the main building would be moved to the side building, and students were instructed to go there. The announcer's voice grew more urgent as he continued, warning everyone to stay away. Hunters had entered the gate to begin their raid, and for safety, no one else was allowed near. A man in a coat asked the announcer how long the hunters had been inside. The announcer replied that it had been 8 hours and expected the D-grade raid to end soon. The announcer continued, warning everyone to step back if they weren't hunters, as it was dangerous. Sung Suho remained silent, lost in deep thought. His thoughts drifted to the recurring phenomenon, another gate. 3 years ago, gates began appearing in the world, changing everything. These portals connected to dungeons, and for a certain time, monsters would emerge, threatening the lives of people. For humanity's survival, people began to change as well. Individuals with special abilities, such as magic, started to emerge, a phenomenon known as awakening. In this chaotic world, Wu Jinchul founded the Hunter Association, uniting the awakened. With hunters as an official profession, managing the chaos became easier. Nowadays, people are divided into awakened hunters and non-awakened. Some struggle like ants for rewards, while others have them handed to them effortlessly. In this system, the ant bitterly realizes their limits. No matter how hard the non-awakened work, they can never match even an E-rank awakened. If hunters fail to stop the gates, the world will end. In short, the non-awakened cannot survive without the awakened. That's why he felt grateful to the hunters. Thanks to them, non-awakened people like him could live peacefully. At the same time, he felt uneasy, questioning if he was simply growing accustomed to having nothing. Missing his parents and relying on others for survival, he recalled a time when he felt capable of achieving anything, but everything he had was lost, leaving only a void filled with helplessness. His mother often said he looked like his father. He wondered how his father would have handled this helpless situation. Then he heard someone call his name, Suho. He turned to see his art instructor approaching. With a slight smile, the instructor remarked on how focused he seemed today. The instructor observed Sung Suho's focused expression as he sketched. Glancing at the drawing, they noted its unusual form, resembling an ant, yet distinctly human-like. Sung Suho stared at his own work, confusion creeping in. He couldn't understand why he had drawn it in the first place. Meanwhile, at the gate, a man excitedly announced the hunters' return. As the hunters emerged, they commented on the relaxed atmosphere, a clear sign that the subjugation had been successful. The man praised Hunter Kim Jong-soo, who confirmed the successful subjugation and mentioned important information for the Hunter Association. Hunter Kim reported encountering a new type of beast. It was a humanoid beast that spewed blue flames from its eyes and mouth, attacking with claws and teeth, though it wasn't very strong. Hunter Kim noted a slight scratch from the attack, but saw no issues. The beast, appearing since the gates opened, was thankfully not dangerous. The man asked Hunter Kim to write a brief report on the subjugation. Suddenly, blue flames emerged from Kim's wound, leaving him in shock. Hunter Kim stood frozen, unresponsive. Concerned, the man called out to him, but before he could react, blue flames erupted from Kim's eyes and mouth. In an instant, Kim lunged forward, attacking the man. The other hunters stood in shock, unable to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Hunter Kim lunged at a female hunter who recoiled in shock. She recognized the eerie blue dot flames engulfing him. It was the same as the beast from the dungeon. Panic erupted as the other hunters fled in fear, while Hunter Kim, consumed by the blue flames, continued his relentless attacks. In the art classroom, Sung Suho heard distant screams from outside. His classmates looked around in confusion, alarmed by the sudden commotion. Shock spread through the classroom as they watched people attacking each other, their eyes glowing blue, just like a beast. A classmate muttered in fear, wondering if a dungeon break had occurred. Panic set in as some urged everyone to run, while others insisted they stay and wait for the hunters to handle the situation. The students turned to Instructor Lim, pleading for help, reminding him that he was an awakener. However, he hesitated, admitting that he was only an E rank. Sung Suho stood frozen in shock as he spotted a man engulfed in blue flames atop a nearby building. In an instant, the figure leaped toward them. Sung Soo-ho shouted for everyone to run as Hunter Kim, his eyes glowing blue, crashed through the window and fell to the ground. The students stood in shock as Sung Soo-ho bolted, shouting for everyone to run away. A classmate lay on the ground, their legs weak and powerless, desperately reaching out for help. Sung Soo-ho hesitated, then shut his eyes and ran, shouting that he would call a hunter. Frustration filled Sung Soo-ho as he realized calling a hunter was no different from leaving her to die. As a non-awakened, he felt powerless. But blaming the situation wouldn't change anything. He had to find a way to act. He wondered what his father would have done in a situation like this. Hunter Kim, engulfed in blue flames, stared down at the student who trembled, crying in fear. Hunter Kim lunged at the helpless student who trembled in fear. Without hesitation, Sung Soo-ho grabbed a fire extinguisher and struck Hunter Kim. His mind raced, searching for an answer. What would his father have done in this moment?